About 4.5 years ago, I had the opportunity to compete in my first Olympic Games. Not only was this experience surreal, but I never thought in a million years that I would have this opportunity to do such a great thing. So in this video, I want to relive that experience, share that journey with you guys, and just explain my reactions and what I loved and just what I thought being an Olympic athlete for the first time. So if that's something that you're interested in, then you're gonna wanna continue to watch this video. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cindy. For those of you who don't know me, I run track professionally. On this channel, I enjoy talking about my experiences, the things I learned, ways to help level up your fitness. So if this is something that you're interested in, then you're gonna wanna subscribe down below because I will be having weekly content for you guys. So 5 years ago, I was 21 at my first Olympic Games. And I actually was turning 22 at the opening ceremony. So that was really cool to have the first day of the Olympics begin on the day I turned 22. That summer, my sister Tiffany and I had just competed at our Olympic trials and we both qualified going 1 and 2. It was such a cool journey and experience to have my first Olympic journey with my sister. So just qualifying together was awesome. It was just really nice to know we were both going to be headed to the Olympics together and we can kind of enjoy that experience together. So that summer, I had just graduated college and I was still young, still inexperienced. Needless to say, I was kind of nervous headed into this experience. So I was nervous competing against really talented athletes, girls who were just so much older than me and had way more experience than I did. And I really just didn't know what to expect. Prior to the Olympics happening, I had a few meets. I was now a professional athlete. I was done with my collegiate career and I could now enter into professional races. And so in between that phase, it was between June, I believe I ended in June, and then I had the Olympics early August that year. So we had about a month and we had a few professional races that weren't going the best for me. I went into the races just a little tired from the college season and just not really performing the way I had been doing that whole year. And so that was a bit discouraging, just like having some meets before the Olympics and feeling like, why am I not running fast? This is kind of discouraging. I'm not going to do well when I actually go to the Olympics. So mentally, I was just extremely concerned that my experience there would not go well because I was just thinking, okay, if I'm not doing well in this race, then this won't happen for me in the Olympics and all this other stuff. So just had to reshape my mindset and say, you know what? Let's just focus on what we got to focus on right now. Get ready for what matters the most because those little meets really didn't mean much. They were just preppers and as well as meets that we could make money in. But yeah, so fast forward a few weeks, we begin training camp. And so before the Olympics begin, everybody goes on a training camp with your team. And so my sister and I actually went on a training camp in Portugal. And that was my first time going to Portugal. It was super beautiful. The weather was so spectacular, you guys. I think it did not rain or it didn't feel cold or anything like the whole time we were there. And we were there for probably almost 2 weeks. So it was super nice. We had really, really good training sessions. So at training camps, it's literally eat, sleep, train. And at these camps, you're literally so focused and you're so in the zone and they're just so nice to kind of get away from your everyday life and just focus on your sport. And so we were literally there for 2 weeks before the Olympics, just getting ready, getting primed, really going at it at training. And training was going well, but we were really tapering down. And so what tapering down means is you're getting your body ready to peak. You're getting your body ready to really release everything you've been doing the whole year and your body is just, you know, not sore anymore and you're feeling fast and snippy and you're just ready. So training camp went really, really well. We actually did not go to the opening ceremony. So because of just how things worked, my event, the 100-meter hurdles weren't until the end of the Olympics. And so they didn't want us getting there too early because sometimes if you get to the Olympics like super early, then you end up getting, you know, a little bit stale and things get nerve-wracking and the experience isn't as good. So they don't want you getting there super early into the village. And so we didn't get there on the opening ceremony day. We just stayed at training camp. And as competition got closer and closer, about a week in, we got there. After training camp is when you go to the athlete village. You guys, when I walked into this village, it was so surreal. Like I saw all these athletes that I just saw on TV, like people that, you know, everybody knows. And it was just like, you're literally just in the midst of everybody just walking together. And it was really cool to meet all these different sports. Met some volleyball people. Like I just met all these different sports and just seeing the different people was actually really cool because At world championships and other track championships, you just see track and field people. But at these like games, like the Olympic Games or Commonwealth Games, which I have yet to attend, but at these big games, you just see other people and you get to see other sports. And I think that is just one of the best parts of being in a village, is just the interaction, the community of people, and just seeing all those different faces. They also give us food. So each day we have lunch and dinner and breakfast in the same areas. And that was okay. I'm not gonna lie, because they're making it in like a batch, the food was never the best. So I was never super excited about eating. And so sometimes a lot of athletes on the low would go to McDonald's because that was just what people wanted to eat. People knew McDonald's, and it was super easy because some of the food just was not good. We were just like, this is not tasty. And it was just like either a thing that's pizza and like really oily things right before the race. And I'm just like, we're here to compete, not to like eat unhealthy. So that was one part of the experience. I was like, this could be a little bit better. So yeah. And in the village, they also have different like stores and things you can kind of go to. So it's literally like a little town almost of just different things they have for you and different setups. And I think that's really cool. However, I think it's a balance as well, because it's super easy to get distracted when you have so many things happening. Like there's so many people, there's food, there's options. It can become a distraction. So I had to find a balance of, taking in the experience and really enjoying my time there, as well as not doing too much, not being on my feet, and really resting. Some days I would be intentional and say, okay, I have a couple days before I have to race. One thing I can go do is I can go watch another sport, and I can sit down and relax and not do too much, but I can also get out of my little bubble, because the Olympics come every 4 years. There is no need to just be like, I'm gonna sit here and wait till I compete and not see anything because I'm super nervous. That's not good. It's not good to just get too overwhelmed, because these experiences are so short-lived. Like, they don't last very long. So I had to tell myself I have to do some stuff. So I actually got the opportunity to go watch gymnastics, and you guys, that was so cool. It was so cool because, first of all, I can't move like them girls. Like, they're on a different level of the way they do things, as well as I usually watch it on TV. So to watch it in person is a really cool experience. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. I really liked the fact that I could just go out, see other sports. I was trying to go see swimming at one point, but it didn't work out. So yeah, that was for like a couple days of right before my race. I had some time still to get ready and just enjoy my time. I would say a day or two before my race, I started getting really anxious. I started feeling nervous and just like, okay, it's go time. You start seeing other events start, because not only was track at the end of the Olympics, my event was also towards the end. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing other events go. I'm so ready to race. And you start getting anxious. And that's another reason why you don't want to come to the village way too early, because the more you see people do things and compete and be done, it's like you literally see some sports come in, they're done with their competition, they have their medals, they have their ceremony, and they're done, and you still haven't started. Imagine that feeling of like, you are done and you can relax, and I'm still here like not competing. So that's another reason you don't want to come too early. Anyways, back to how I felt. I was super anxious, super nervous, but at the same time, just like telling myself, Cindy, you are still young. Do not put pressure on yourself. You have not had any international experience. Well, I had a little bit. I had the World Championships the year before, but other than that, never had an international track experience. So just have fun. Enjoy it. You're here. Why not just enjoy it? So as much as I'm a perfectionist, I really made sure to just enjoy the time. Race day comes. I am so excited to compete. Very nervous, but excited. I walk into the stadium. As I'm warming up, I am thinking about just taking it all in, really. I'm here. I'm ready to race. I never thought I'd be here. Now I'm here. Let's do something with it. So getting ready for the prelim, I was almost shaking, you guys. Like, I normally never felt that nervous, but I was just like, okay, I just want to race. I just want to get this over with. And I go out and I do really well in my prelim. And I'm like, okay, that was a lot better than I thought. It felt very effortless. It felt really good. And it just felt really smooth. And I'm like, okay, that was good. So I won my prelim, and I was super excited for my semi the next day. And that was probably the most nerve-wracking race, because the prelim is like, okay, you need to get through it. But the semi is like, you don't make it to the final if you don't do well. So I was like, okay, just run, focus on yourself. You did so well yesterday. And my semifinal actually went pretty well as well. I ran faster than the prelim. I got second. And I had just made my first Olympic final. Honestly, you guys, like, I don't know how to explain that moment. My now coach, Jeff, can go back and tell you guys what I was saying, because I was literally like, what's happening? Really? I'm in the final? Like, really? I was just like asking him, like, did this just happen? Like, for real? Like, I knew I could do it. I knew I was good enough because I had been running fast that whole year. My times were doing pretty good. But to actually do it was like, okay, like, this is cool. So anyways, as the final comes up and we're getting ready for that, we have like an hour in between the semi and the final. I'm in the warm-up room, just getting ready, getting in my zone, just really getting excited. It was so cool because Tiffany had qualified. We both were in it. I was next to my sister. You don't see that very often, 2 sisters in the Olympics. So I thought that was really cool. We made sure to say a prayer together beforehand, and that was very calming because we were both like super nervous, and then we're just like, you know what? Let's say a prayer. And so we both just prayed, and they actually got that on TV, which I thought was really cool. As soon as that was done, I just felt like this peace and this calmness of like, it's go time. And I was good. I got out there. I saw people. It was actually funny because the stadium wasn't as big as other meets. It wasn't a lot of people in Brazil. Not sure why, but it wasn't huge. But yeah, I got out into the stadium. I'm like smiling. I'm just like excited. I'm like looking around. I'm like, whew, okay, this is awesome. I'm so happy to finally be here. And I'm just ready to race. I'm like, you know what? You have nothing else to lose, Cindy. I'm telling myself, like, go out there. You made it to the final this far. It is anybody's race. Just enjoyed it. I just said, you know what? Or leave it all on the track, and whatever happens, happens. And I did that. So we get into the blocks. I am very calm, very relaxed, and the gun goes off, and I feel a big burst in my start. I get out. I normally don't have good starts, but I get out. I'm running well. I'm in actually a good place. I think I was in second or third at one point of the race. I have to go back and look at it, but maybe I can attach it like here and you guys can see it. As I keep moving and getting closer to hurdles, I start thinking like, okay, keep going. And then the last hurdle, I think it was hurdle 9. Hurdle 9, I lost my focus, unfortunately. I was getting so close and so fast that I was trying to finish the race before I actually finished the race kind of thing. And so as I was running, something happened, and then I felt myself float, which means like I got way too high over a hurdle, and then I got past the line and for a bronze medal, which at the end of the day, I'm just happy I made that final. I'm happy I ran well. It would have been super nice to medal, but that's why I'm making this video, because I'm excited. It's the Olympic year. I'm excited to come back this year and hopefully do better than I did then. And yeah, I really enjoyed the fact that I made my first Olympic team. It was very, very fun, very cool. The fact that I got 4th was a God thing and was a blessing, and I'm so happy that I had that chance to show what I was capable of, especially at a younger age. But now I am way more experienced. I'm way faster and stronger than I ever have been. And so I'm just really excited. Hopefully everything goes well this year and we can move forward with life, because you guys know a lot of things have been happening. But yeah, I'm super excited to have an opportunity to go again, and it's just so nice that I have a career that gives me the opportunity to live this dream out of being an Olympic athlete. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. It was just a little bit of a reminiscent video of my journey, and it was kind of fun to just think about how I was feeling, what was going on in my mind, and to share some insight with you guys too about, you know, age and inexperience really doesn't mean anything. So don't start thinking if you're too young, you don't have all the accolades or all the experiences to do anything. Like, when I made my first Olympic team and I made the final, I didn't have medals and I didn't have all these things. I mean, I had done things in college, but at the international level, I had not done anything. And so the fact that I still could do well shows that it doesn't mean anything. So wherever you are capable of doing so much more than you think you can. I hope you guys enjoyed this and gave you some motivation to keep going and keep pushing, and it just gave you a little bit more of an insight as to what it's like being an Olympic athlete.